Hi, I'm Joe Porter, publisher of Wreck Diving Magazine. If you're not familiar with us, we're a quarterly magazine about scuba diving on shipwrecks. That's all we cover. But now what we're doing is we have so much fun and so much excitement with these expeditions that we want to bring this to another level for you. So we've actually embarked on Wreck Diving Magazine TV, where we're going to have video cameras going out with us on all of our expeditions so that we can not only bring you back the article and the excellent photographs, but you can actually go right along with us. With each issue or each episode, we also plan to do a product review so that we can educate you on some cutting-edge products out there that you might be interested in yourself in purchasing. So that's kind of it about Wreck Diving Magazine TV. Our first episode we're real excited about. We're actually going to Key West, where we've been invited to go with Mel Fisher's museum, which, if you're not familiar with that, there was a Spanish galleon back in 1622 loaded with treasure that wrecked off the coast of Key West in a hurricane. And Mel Fisher found it many years ago. His family still dives it. They're still pulling treasure out today. And so what we hope to do is actually go with them out there and see what we can find. Who knows, maybe we'll find some treasure. So come along and go with us, and let's have some fun. Well, here we are on our first dive day of diving the Atocha, and as you can see, we're not diving the Atocha. The weather's pretty bad. Rain came in overnight and is expected to stay for the week, so we're just hoping that we're going to have a break in the weather to get us out, not tomorrow, maybe the next day. So let's hope for better weather. Thankfully, the rain subsided the next day, and Sean Fisher, the grandson of Mel Fisher, who actually found the Atocha, met us with his boat to take us out to the dive site. Joining me were my wife Heidi and three sons, Jacob, Philip, and Joseph. Heidi and I actually dove with Sean a few years back when several gold chains were found and a lead box containing over 16,000 pearls. But this was the first time for my boys to go out there, and they were really looking forward to the opportunity to experience this and maybe find some treasure. Mel Fisher actually began his search for the Atocha in 1969. And by 1973 they had found some silver bars, so they knew they were on the right track, but they didn't find the mother lode until 1985. While the weather seemed beautiful, there was no rain. Sean said this was actually one of the roughest days that he had ever taken anybody out to the dive site. Redirecting the propeller wash down to the sea bottom takes about a half hour and prepares the bottom for us to start our dive.
Yeah, there's a silver coin we found yesterday. Beautiful area out.
Just found yesterday.
It's found yesterday, yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome.
And the musket ball, they found some pottery. It's been a good trip, man.
It sure has.
A little bit of everything, you know. 2 musket balls.
Awesome.
So I just showed them, so how much of the trail does this encompass? So right up here is actually the Bank of Spain. This little chart you see here is maybe a half a mile. And all the different holes are different places we've dug holes. Everybody says, you know, it's purple circle, that means we found silver in that hole. Yellow circles mean we found gold. And then they'll have an initial interval for what we found. And this one's B, I think, so that's a bar. Here's an emerald ring we found. There's another emerald ring we found somewhere around here. Right there. You know, and every different, you know, pink means it's an iron, you know, or a spike or something, you know. Yeah.
So when we say there's 30 minutes per hole, it's 30 minutes per dive, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, this whole area is a real deep sand. You know, there's some places on the site we work where you're talking 3 to 5 feet of sand, and we're doing 10, 15-minute digs to get down there. But here you might, you know, you're lucky to get 7, 8 dives in a day.
Okay.
It's going to take for about a half hour, 45 minutes.
So all these other holes, that's where nothing was found?
Yeah, anywhere you just see an empty hole, which obviously there's a lot more empty holes than there are holes we find stuff. But yeah, that's just holes we dug and didn't find anything. You know, and now he's just going through and filling in the gaps, you know. I'm not exactly sure where we are right now.
And was the ring found by filling in a gap?
Yeah, I think we're right here.
Very cool.
That's the ring that we found yesterday. Musket ball, pottery, said there were all in holes right next to it, so I think we're working right here.
Very cool.
As the crew was finishing with the prop wash, we made sure that we were geared up and ready to go. We didn't really know what to expect. While the weather was good, the currents were screaming, and our objective was to get down into the hole created by the prop wash as quickly as possible. The Atocha was part of a 28-ship fleet that left Havana on September the 4th, 1622, bound for Spain. She carried an immense wealth of gold, silver, pearls, and emeralds to take back to the motherland. But the following day she was overtaken by a strong hurricane, and the Atocha, along with 7 other ships, found themselves broken up on the sea bottom. The crater created by the prop wash pushes the sand around and actually reaches all the way down to the hard rock bottom. The divers use their metal detectors to try to find gold and silver objects, and if they don't find anything in quick order, then they abort the site and move on to the next one.
It's a gold and emerald ring off the Atocha. Wild Bill found a couple trips ago, and just as gorgeous as can be, man. Craftsmanship's amazing. The stone is the darkest emerald I think I might have ever seen on the Atocha. Absolutely gorgeous.
What do you think the value of that is?
It's hard to say this early, but I'd estimate $250,000.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Man, that's a beauty.
Bill Burt found it. Wild Bill over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You gonna try it on?
Yeah, it's pretty, huh? It's really.
That's beautiful. Don't drop it.
Yeah, you need a bigger finger. That one's bigger than the other one, huh?
That's beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
Congratulations.
It's stuck, Sean. I can't get it off.
Yeah, that one's stuck now. Tiny little chip. Tiny little chip. In the stone right
I
there.
see it.
Other than that, it's perfect.
Is the chip in the gold or the emerald?
The emerald. Tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Put a little oil on it, you wouldn't even see it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Dark gold, at least 22 carats. Beautiful.
Today's the day.
Today's the day, that's right.
We had a great day of diving yesterday and actually thought we were going to have to pry the ring off of Heidi's finger. But today Sean offered to show us the museum, take us behind the scene in the conservation labs, and open up the vaults to see some real treasure.
Hey, John.
Hey,
How are you?
good, thanks.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
This is something I'm working on right now. Silver bar.
I'm sure John's told you these are the biggest finds from last year.
Yeah. We were just talking about, that's the ring that we saw last time, right?
Yeah, that's the one that's downstairs in the case. I don't think
Was
those
this
guys have
just
seen it.
found this past year?
This was found, actually, this was found before this. This was found in March of last year.
Okay.
Real close to where the ring was found. They were all found in a line. The seal, the ring, this rosary, and then a gold bar that we found. All found in a pretty straight line up on the very far northwest end of the trail.
Okay.
Although they worked the hell out of that
Are these
area this
markings
year.
like they do on
Couldn't
the
find it.
bars? Or what?
No, this is just, this is ancient Latin. Actually, one of our investors helped us figure out this one. I think it says...
Not one of his bones will be broken?
Yeah. Not one bone shall be broken or something.
Oh,
to that
wow.
effect. And then on this, there's ancient Spanish text. And on one side with the Virgin Mary, it says, without original sin. And then on the other side, it has a picture of the Holy Grail. The Grail here, and you can see it says, praise be the Blessed Sacrament. John had to figure all this out, you know, and Spanish back then is nothing like Spanish today, and it's kind of like a word jumble because there's no breaks between any of the letters.
Oh.
So he had to kind of go in like a puzzle and eventually figure it out, which wasn't an easy task.
That's probably a fake relic.
You got it in your...
Yeah, it's in the safe over there.
Now, when you say fake relic, it was... They use relics a lot in jewelry, so you're saying that they probably just made a copy of one? And
No, fake as in everybody was claiming to have a piece of the truth for us, or
Right.
a piece of the truth, a real saint. But everybody had fakes. You know, they were, all conning each other, and just to make money, they would say this is a piece of the truth for us. It wasn't really. pulled it off a tree somewhere. Or whatever.
Right.
If it was true, the true cross would have been the size of a redwood. You know, because everybody had a piece of the true cross.
This thing's cool too. I'm sure he told you that was the seal of the Vice Admiral of the fleet.
Oh,
So
wow.
we found other seals. We found a Palpal seal. We found several seals up on the 1715 fleet, but we've never been able to match one up to a particular person with the coat of arms, and we were able to match this one up. Whoops. With a particular person, and not just anybody. It was the.
And the Vice Admiral would have been on the, is it that, you call it the Almirante or
No, he would have been on the
Capitano?
Capitano. He was the head guy on the fleet. So the most important guy in the fleet, we found their seal. So it's pretty neat. And you can tell by the incrustation.
I thought I did.
So Joe and I, you guys have seen all this good stuff, but
Yeah, well, our
for your
viewers,
viewers, yeah. So this is where all the treasure comes after John's conserved it.
Now, is this a real bar?
That's a real silver bar, yeah. That's one of the about 1,000 that we've found so far. Yeah, and see if you can pick it up. You can pick it up with one hand, it's yours.
How much is it? One hand.
Yeah.
You didn't say two hands.
What's your back?
Yeah.
How much do you think that
Try it,
weighs?
Bill.
They're about 80. This one's about an
Try it,
85
Bill.
pounder, right, John?
88.
88 pounds, yeah.
88 pounds and you
The
can't pick
average,
it up?
85 pounds ish. I think the largest.
Because of the size and shape. Yeah.
The largest one we found was 103 pounds. Cannonball.
Oh,
Everybody loves cannonballs. You know, I wish we would have priced these things a lot higher when we first found the main pond because we had so many of them, and now it's just everybody wants Atocha cannonballs.
very cool.
They're hard to keep our
Very
ears on.
Maybe we'll find more.
Yeah, this is neat stuff over here. This is the bishop's plate. We found this a few years ago. It's a silver gilded rosewater dish, and the reason we know it belongs to a bishop is because of the coat of arms in the middle. Here's what it actually looks like. This is John's quick drawing of it.
Oh, the coat of arms itself.
Yeah, that's the same thing that's in the middle. We've done a lot of research. There was no bishop on the Atocha, so we're not sure why this was on the Atocha. It was either going back to Spain.
For a bishop.
Yeah, for a bishop, or perhaps that guy had passed on and it was going to his family. There was an archpriest on board, so we're not sure. This is a silver coal burner, wood burner for the wealthy people's cabins to keep themselves warm. Put their feet by. And then a silver urn back here. Where's your left-handed dagger, John?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow! Look at that.
So you had a left-handed officer in there.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
they were,
Oh, there's
they were
a-
designed to fit around your left hand, to guard your left hand. They fight with a sword in their right hand and a dagger in
There's
the
a
middle.
seal
okay.
up there, right?
So they use them both at the same time?
Yeah, like you see in the movies, they really did.
They really did that.
Yeah, this is and this one's really cool. It's got basically 4 different kinds of metal. It's got steel in the blade, which they could make in small amounts to hold a blade. Wrought iron in the handle, then plated with gold on top of that, and then hand woven silver for the handle. That was a very valuable dagger even for its time. It was whoever owned that. That was like owning a Porsche nowadays. Some guy
Wow.
going through his midlife crisis went out and bought a Porsche. Well, instead they would buy a weapon, but they didn't have a Porsche.
Is this a seal you were talking about?
This is. That's the Admiral's seal. After John's conserved it, much cleaner than the pictures, obviously.
Talking about a nice way to show it. We were out on the boat yesterday with the ring, put it on that little clay shard.
Yeah.
That picture turned out really
Really good. Would you mind
Yeah.
sending it to
Yeah,
us? We can
yeah.
use it and put it on our website.
Yeah.
And here's a conserved small portion of one of the stocks that we have. It still has the trigger mechanism in it. I think Gary conserved this. He had to take this all apart, right?
Yeah.
And put it back together after he conserved the wood separately.
That's an actual stamp. I found a papal seal in '96, and we stamped it, and that's the seal. You know the one we just found? That one right there?
Yeah.
I found one just like that, only it had that image on it.
For what, off what
Still
rack?
It's a papal from the Atocha.
From the Atocha, wow.
Yeah, it was the Pope's emissaries would stamp documents with it. That's a saint. See, he's holding a heart with an arrow through it. It
Oh,
has
that's
Latin writing.
beautiful.
That is awesome.
The Catholic Church was actually interested in that when we found
Wow. Did they take it?
No. Oh, Gary
Gary
actually.
has it.
Yeah, it's Gary's. He traded in a bunch
He's
of
not
his
letting that
treasure
go.
for it.
No, it's in a glass case in one of our safes. It was a real, of all my finds, that was my favorite one.
Even the Pope won't get that.
No. Well, everything's for sale.
Yeah. It depends on how much money the Pope wants to pay.
All right. Well, John, we're gonna let you get some lunch here.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
It was rough. It was crazy. It was the roughest day I've ever taken the little boat out. It was probably 20 knots at least, stiff 20 maybe. On the way back, maybe more.
Maybe more.
You remember the tickets at Disney World? That was an e-ticket ride.
Really?
We definitely. I mean, there was one point on the way back. I wish there was somebody beside us with video because the whole boat was in the air. I mean, we caught air.
Yeah. You could
I was
hear
only
the
going
engine.
20 knots.
Yeah, but you were driving.
I was going 20 knots.
Sean,
I
you got a
swear.
rep, man.
I know, but I was
You
going
didn't get
20.
no more than 17.
Sean,
Right.
got one speed.
Yeah, no, I asked them. I had to back off. I had no choice. Yeah, here, hold the gold disc, man.
He brings that to the shows.
Oh wow. Here, gold bars. Everybody, get it all. Hold on. Oh yeah.
Put all over all of us.
Oh shoot! Sorry, honey.
That's all right.
Lost your sunglasses. And then this is one of the emeralds we found. This little stone's worth more than any of these other pieces. This thing appraised by Emeralds International at $595,000.
Oh, wow.
And this is completely rough. This is how they grow. And if it was to be oiled, you know, just with a little oil, all these inclusions and stuff that we see would go away. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
If it would be cut and oiled, you just have the prettiest emerald in the world. And we find some that are very light that are worth maybe $100 a carat. The very darkest ones like this are worth
Or the one you had yesterday.
yeah, they're about $27,000 a carat.
Do you hear the value of that?
So, and this is a 30.34 carat 1 AA emerald. It's $595,000.
How much does that disc weigh?
6.77 troy pounds. So if you just melted it down, it'd be worth about $110,000, $120,000.
Wow.
As an artifact, it's a $350,000 artifact.
Holy cow.
Now, and every one of these, it all depends on the
And
markings.
you know the markings.
You know, the more, that's a tax stamp. So all the round stamps on the bars are the tax stamps. It's the same on both. The Roman numeral is the purity, so this one's 21.25 carats. This one's 21.5. Each dot's a quarter carat. And then this is the mark of the goldsmith.
The true that they used to use a link.
Yeah, these are
or
called money chains, right? And because of that, if you look, none of the links have been soldered. This thing's actually falling apart. We put it around the guy's neck once, and it's links went everywhere. But yeah, you can actually twist links off, and
Because the gold is
oh, it's okay. We've made sure it's nice and snug now. But yeah, gold's so soft you can just twist one off. This one, because of the size of the links, it's a very unique chain. Most of the money chains have much smaller links. They're higher carat, but with smaller links. This one and this was Mel's chain, so it's pretty priceless. You know, we were offered $300,000 for it once, and my grandma said no. But now it's my dad's. But I don't really think this is one that probably just we would never sell. I don't even know what I'd put a value on
When
it.
you say it's Mel, it was Mel's chain. It's like the one he just.
Yeah, it's the one he always wore. You know, if you saw him on Johnny Carson,
yeah, I
he came
would
out
do
swinging
that.
that chain around. This was the one. Yeah. So here, this is I think didn't we find this right before you came out?
You found that afterwards.
That was not.
Okay, yeah. So, well, this is a gold chalice. We found this in 2008. Beautiful piece. This is exactly like it came up. Had a little bit of white incrustation. Sometimes gold will get this calcareous concretion on it. It's the only thing that'll ever grow on gold, where, you know, silver gets extremely corroded and iron's even worse. But the more noble the metal, the less corrosion you'll get. So even after 400 years under the ocean, you know, this is the only augmentation is a little bent up like that, but that's it. And then, you know, the day we brought it up, you could unscrew the bottom just like it was made yesterday. It's the craftsman, you can see the tax stamp. So you knew the king had already gotten his 20% of this gold.
That's the ring from last year.
This is the big dog, yeah. This is the $750,000 one. Look at how big that stone is in comparison.
On the inside, it's got carvings on.
Well, yeah, here, take. You can hold it. Just don't drop it. No. Well, it's cool. You can actually read the name of the guy who. We think it stands for Saint Marco because you can read the name Marco. Yeah. See, and then off to the side there's a little S. Just the intricacy of the design that lasted 400 years. Yeah, that's wild. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I mean, gold doesn't wear down at all. You can't do anything to it.
No, gold doesn't corrode at all. You know, you get it bent up a little bit. This is a little gold reliquary. This is actually, they would take a fingernail or a hair of a deceased relative and put it in that. And it was
their way of staying close to somebody.
Ah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, no problem, Joe. Thank you so much. No problem.
Thank you.
As always, wonderful to see you.
Today we're going to test out the Aquascan DX200 magnetometer. I've heard a lot about this unit from some friends that do quite a bit of shipwreck hunting, treasure hunting. The beauty of this unit, supposedly, is that if you're towing a magnetometer behind your boat and you get a big hit, but you don't see any relief on the bottom, you can go down with this unit, and this unit has the ability to penetrate under the sand and find ferrous metal objects under the sand. Or if you're in low visibility and you know there's something there, you know you're in the right area, you can sort of move it around in this fashion and it will actually lead you to the object that you're looking for. When it comes from the manufacturer, it comes in a box like this. They have two kits. This is the professional kit. It comes with the unit itself here, if I can get this out. And you can see the unit has different sensitivities. It's got a low, mid, and high sensitivity. As you're getting closer to the unit, you switch this to a different sensitivity so that it doesn't just go like a banshee in your earphone here. Now it comes with underwater headphones. The topside headphones are an option. You have to order that separately, but it does come with the underwater headphones, as well as what's called a bone phone. Now the bone phone is actually a bone conductor. It hooks onto the unit here, and you can place it actually up under your hood if you're wearing a hood, so that you can actually hear the sound as you're approaching the metal object. You can hear the sound actually conduct through the bone. And in fact, for our test, what I'm going to be using is a head mount here with a GoPro camera, because I want to be able to see if you can actually hear on the video as I'm approaching the metal object. So what I'll probably end up doing is wearing this, sticking the bone phone up under it, and just see if it comes through the tape so you can hear it on the camera. You can see in the unit, here's the probe itself, and it comes with some adapters here where you can actually hook the unit on here, and you can hook it in like this. The probe actually goes down at a 45-degree angle. Now, since they sent me this unit, they came out with another adapter that'll actually go at a 90 degree. So you can put it in like this, the probe hooks on here, and it'll go actually in a 90-degree angle. And you just move as you're approaching the metal object. You'll be able to hear through the bone phone or the headphones, you'll be able to hear the sound change that will actually lead you right to the object. So that's pretty much it. Let's go test it out. I started the test about 15 or 20 feet away from a steel object, and I moved the probe left and right and listened for shift changes in the frequency in the bone phone. As I approach the target, you can actually hear the bone phone letting me know I'm getting close. The DX200 is extremely sensitive even at distances, which would come in handy if you're looking for objects in low visibility water where you can't see the object, or if it's under the sand. The Aquascan DX200 performed flawlessly, and I would recommend it to anybody who does these types of searches underwater or even on land. For a full product review, you can check out our article in issue number 28 of Wreck Diving Magazine, where we cover all of this and more. Well, that wraps up our first episode of Wreck Diving Magazine TV. I hope you enjoyed it. I think you can tell we sure had a great time doing it. I want to thank Sean Fisher and the whole crew at Mel Fisher's Museum. We had a great time. My family really enjoyed diving out there, and just the fact that they opened everything up at the museum for us to see all that neat treasure, we just really appreciate it. Make sure you check out the new issue of the magazine. We've got an article on Cuba. We were the first Americans to be able to dive on a couple of Spanish galleons that were down there, as well as the Bay of Pigs. We've also got an article on Truck Lagoon, Kwajalein, shipwreck called the Arabia in the Great Lakes. Also an article by Divers Alert Network on skin bends, so a lot of good information in there. If you don't like hard copy magazines, you prefer the digital version, check us out on Zenio.com. We also have an iPad version of it there. And that's pretty much it. Be on the lookout for an upcoming episode. We've got a lot in store, a big expedition we did that we want to tell you about. And also check out our advertisers. Well, that's it. Thank you very much.